Okay, everybody, it's April 22nd. I know we had a little issue with Zoom this morning, put 5 a.m. instead of 5 p.m., so I'm glad that everybody's here. I think we're probably, a lot of us just kind of get into the habit, so I don't know why that happened, but let me go ahead and just start so we don't waste any time tonight, because I want to, and then James, we'll talk about what, Kevin and I can talk to you about what you're trying to do, because I know
Okay.
you're raising capital, but let me real quick show everybody this, and then we
Yeah.
can kind of dive into that. So tonight we're kind of talking about we're going to kind of show people really quick rudimentary. I know it's just having a video to show people how they set up their RCIC core. And we've been stressing this a lot lately. We're going to do that on. I'm also going to do a one-on-one session like that on Monday on Friday. Anybody wants to come on, you can. We'll do that again next Monday, next Friday, next Wednesday, and next Thursday will be our normal Zooms. But plenty of opportunities to set up your buy box and your markets and all that. So for anybody that's, I know there's a few people in here that are still needing some help and some people watching on video. So real quick, I'm just going to go ahead and real quick show you guys. And so James, so you know, this is what you open when you first get our first GPT, which is RCIC Core. Core is our bread and butter. So you guys will. This is the first one of 7 GPTs. We also have the full suite of all the stuff built in Claude, all the apps. What'll happen there is next week I will be putting all the API in and all this stuff.
Yeah. Without this, those others are useless. That's the thing. This is the most important part of this whole thing. So,
Well, they are fully functional once I connect the API. Right now,
yeah.
they're markups. Okay, so when I connect those will be live. You guys look at RCICsystems.com, the 7 off ramps and on ramps that it's listed, all those will be in place. So everything, a lot of stuff's functional offline. It's just not as powerful as plugging into the AI. And then it's plugged in the AI. Everyone will have to make a decision if they want to add a second cloud. We're not going away from GPT, obviously. That's our bread and butter, but the everybody that's new as of May 1st will be coming on board Claude, and they'll be getting the GPT stuff as well, but not, they're actually going to be paying $100 a month or $399 a month, or they'll pay 1997 for annual or 3,500 for lifetime. So that'll happen in May 1st. But what happens is everybody comes in first into your into RCIC Core, one of the 7 GPTs. I'm probably going to eliminate the start here and add another conversation starter. But you guys want to go, you guys pretty much want to use the first one. When you're first getting into it, you want to use setup or update my buy box. And I'm going to send this out to some people that I know that need this, some newer people in the group that need this. So what happens is when you guys
They
go
end up putting a they end up putting a tutorial together on this is what's probably going to end up happening here.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
think it's probably the best thing to do there.
well, yeah, that's what we're working on too. So this is what you put the buy box in, and you guys want to spend a little bit of time, maybe about 30 minutes putting your buy box in. I'll show you why. So what happens is this is the template, right? So you guys see on the buy box. What I tell people to do is, this is actually all the information that's gonna, if you're raising capital, you're a lender, things like that, then you guys can make adjustments. It'll make it for you. So you can go down and just kind of change things out if you need to. So you said this is the template. And then here it gives you an example of a tight buy box. This is showing you really how it's tight with the primary markets. So like you get a Denver value add. So it's going to show like some counties in Denver, Adams County, Denver, Aurora. It's going to throw some zip codes. Everyone that's in there, you want to put markets, your primary markets. If you need a market guide from me, let me know. I ask you just to limit it to, when you first start, to 3 counties. And we can throw some zip codes in there that kind of define it even more. But what happens is they'll make you a market guide that's pretty detailed. When you want additional markets, you want to add as many as you can. Then you'll add that PDF here to the where it says ask everything. Keep in mind, I have the orange around my box because I'm in developer mode. But you would go ahead and just add that PDF to add photos and files. And then you would ask it. You would then ask it to duplicate in another county. So let's say you're in Harris County, Texas, but you want to do Tarrant County and Dallas County and Bexar County and all that. You could just ask for it to duplicate it and add those counties. But this is the example of the buy box. This is the example of one that's pretty much a tight buy box. It's going to tell you guys, in primary markets, what asset types you're looking at, your strategy, your price range, your target equity discount. condition tolerance, medium to heavy. You know, if you want light, you want it's just cosmetic, or if you want scrape, you can put it in there. What your tolerance is. This is all up to you. We can have 1,000 people in this group. No two people will ever probably have the exact buy box. So when you get all your distress intelligence and you get all that information, you're going to get exactly what you need. So if there's 100 foreclosure filings in a county in your market, in one of your markets in 1 month, like there were 84 in El Paso County, Colorado Springs in November, you may only get 4 because those are going to meet your exact needs. That's what it's dialed in. So when you spend some time on your buy box, you get in, it's going to help you bring those down, and then you have less to skip trace. When we do the skip tracing war room prompt, that is actually going to help you guys. There's a lot of places where you can get information that list sellers, wholesalers, popped up companies don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that the information is probably where the process server, that paperwork's going to be in the filing that you guys are going to be able to access. So a lot of times these people, if they've had a foreclosure filing or a probate or eviction filing, that information, that current address is going to be current because that's where the process server, the sheriff went. So that's
we don't public information. Anybody can get it, but you just need to know how to get access to it and how to make it work for you instead of getting stuck in the middle, which is where most people get. This thing will actually filter through all the crap. And the more specific that you are about your questions, the more detailed it gets. But I wouldn't go that far. Like Nate's saying, take it one step at a time. But after 2 or 3, 4 weeks, you can start asking it a little more in-depth stuff, and it will start really zeroing in on specifics of what you really want. And it'll only tell you whenever that shows up once it starts running on its own. And you may very well be able to have the offer sitting there ready to generate, figured out what it is. It's sent it out there to all the different places where you have all your addresses that this thing is put together because it's already gone and done all the skip tracing. Okay. All of this stuff works as a well-oiled machine. So that it's get to the point where if you only have to do a couple of days worth of work, and I mean an hour or so each, and you from inception to actually closing the deal, that's what this thing will do. The question is going to end up being, how many of these do you want to do at a time? Do you want to take it a weekly thing or you want to take it a monthly thing? Because what Nate's telling you here is this thing is only going to take 1 day to come out with this many results. Yeah, he's just talking about the one time that he plugged it in. He's not talking about the continuing thing that it's going to go forever until you tell it to stop. Yeah. So and that's what you have to take into account.
So it's going to tell you that there's a 7-day action plan. Everybody can get that.
There you go.
It's in the Facebook group, in the RCIC one. You guys want to go there? There's a 7-day action
plan. You need to follow that to the letter, because whenever you get done with that, and you'll understand what's going on because you'll see how this thing acts. Okay. The whole point is you're going to be able to fine tune this thing to where you're going to get over 90% or better results. In other words, you're never going to lose because you'll lose 1 out of 10. How many do you want to do a month?
Yeah. So here, guys, what I did is
you lose 2 out of all the ones that you're doing. You got about 15 to 18 of those that month. Okay. You're working your ass off still because you have to oversee to make sure that you got the paperwork correctly done. But other than that, sky's the limit, and you just got to pick your projects. And then Nate's going to get into the particulars about how that's going to work too. The whole point is the more specific that you are in this, but work yourself up 2 or 3 or 4 weeks before you get there, the better this thing's going to get. You'll just watch. It's going to be fun.
So guys, what I'm doing right now is it's going to tell you to take 10 or 15 minutes to do the buy box. I would spend a little bit more than that. So what I do is I just copy and paste. Anytime you guys see this, you can click copy, just copy and paste, and then you can put it in your box. Your box, obviously, like I said, is different. I got the orange because it's developer mode. Then you can just go ahead and fill this out and then press send. But before you press send, after you fill it out, you want to go ahead and just like copy and paste over it again. And then you want to go over. So we'll go back out of it. We'll go back to projects, right? So we'll go back to projects. And in projects now, you might want to put BuyBox. And you just open a new project, put create project. I'm not going to do it because but I'm going to show you. Just go to create project.
I think we got enough of them, but you've been creating for the last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. So what you guys can do is you can go to project, and then if you got your BuyBox, that you just filled out. You can just put it there in BuyBox. And
And
then,
you do this for each buy box you have?
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. And you can change it, James, because I know you're doing some stuff that's different. Willie's doing some stuff that's different. We have every asset class, every strategy. So everybody's able to, if you need to, work with me, we do one-on-ones. So I can, if it's more specific, we can, we have a little bit of game plan for everybody. But we're still calling it buy box just to be a universal term. There's some
Yeah,
things that I mentioned tonight that just for everybody, like on ramps and off ramps. Because what I want to show everybody that's kind of newer or hasn't been on too much lately, we're teaching it like an interstate highway with off ramps and on ramps. So when like you're driving down whatever interstate you're on, I-80, I-10, I-70, you are looking at your normal off ramps are going to be like hotels and restaurants and gas stations, right? Well, now think about your off ramps are going to be the first off ramp you're going to have is going to be what we call the AHJ, the authority having jurisdiction. That means the county. It means the county clerk, the probate court, whatever county authority has jurisdiction over that real estate kind of transaction, that delinquency or that distress, property situation. Then you're going to off ramp back. When you guys off ramp back, you just basically go right back to your GPT on your taskbar. That's your on ramp back. The next one, deal analysis. Think about it as, hey, you got Home Depot. That next off ramp instead of Home Depot, it's just one big tool store. So I'm going to show you guys on that. So, like I said, that's the next one's going to be down. Then you're going to have a total of 7 stops. In theoretically, most people, if you're lenders, things like that, different things, you'll have different stops. You'll have different tools and stuff. But like I said, what we guys got is like I said, what we got in projects, obviously, you want to build projects like I've got BuyBox, right? The next one after BuyBox, I would build after it. I try to build them in order. The next one would be your deal analysis tools, and then you got like chats. So here, you got another chat. You can start another chat. Basically, work your way. That way, you save it because if you save it here and you saved it also in your where you first do your BuyBox on the entry, it's going to be in there. Some people have had to go back and look for it afterwards. So we came up with a system where your next one after BuyBox is going to be your deal analysis tools. So here I'm going to go and say, deal analysis. This is going to be the tool. We call it the tool store. Like I said, it's like going to Home Depot. So I'm sure I spelled that right. It's very forgiving, but I do like to spell things right when I've got people on. So that'll be my next project, right? Would be deal analysis and tools. And then after that, I'm going to that's going to be getting your comps. That's going to be a tool that you can add called market reality assessment. And we have there's a PDF in the RCIC group for that. You can go there and do market reality assessment. If you guys need help with that, I can help you. You're going to work your way down like to rehab and scope engine. So your next project is going to be like I said, market reality assessment. And then that's the one you're going to probably create next. And then after market reality assessment, then you're going to do rehab and scope of work. It's going to be your next project. And then you're going to have your comps. Not comps, ARV evaluation, because you want to come up with your ARV last. And so you got ARV evaluation might be your next one. And then you're going to get into skip tracing. And we have this.
Is there Nate, a way of being able to take that last one and tying it to the stuff that Benson's got?
Yeah.
Privy? So talking about Privy?
Yeah. The whole reason I'm bringing that up is that's basically what that thing does is finds your best ARVs, and it's got a massive comparison ratio to it. And if you can find a way of tying that in this particular little,
this does everything
vehicle, then you're in pretty good shape because you're going to get some of the best right up front, and the rest of it's fine tuning, and it'll just clean up. You'll do real well if you can get the two programs to work together. Worth getting with him and getting set up on his program as well. He's one of the original developers of AI. He was working with the United States Army doing that, the Army Intelligence.
I know
And
that.
he came up with it. Yeah. So we got some pretty interesting people that we have affiliated with us that have come along, with us on this ride. And we're all going to be bringing a lot of these people back into, in their part. But I think this would be a good place for you to see if you can pull that off.
Okay.
Nate could probably give you all the particulars of it and the contact
information. RCIC does everything that it does, Kevin. We can't pull in Privy. As much as I like Privy, we built ours has everything that we need in it. Just so
yeah.
Okay, so you got these are your projects. So like I said, one of the things I'm going to talk about really quick, also I'm kind of showing you guys is the process. Obviously, we go to Capital Passport and some other tools that we have. So we get into the GPTs, guys. Obviously, there's 7 of them. We just showed you, we're showing you core. We have Rehab and Scope Engine, and we have Engage, Capital Passport. Those are the 3 besides core that, and I give you all 7 of them. I'm giving everybody core for probably the first week just to get it in there and start plugging away. Operator Exchange and Campaign are like if you're really doing like hedge fund, family offices, you're building portfolios, you're doing a lot of larger deals. Exchange is kind of like a version of wholesaling. But right now you'll get used to core. And then like I said, with core, it's really phenomenal with core. And so if we go back to core, right? There's also change RCIC mode. This is one of the most powerful systems out there. So anything in learning mode, there's all these modes. It'll take a second to populate. So that's pretty much the reason I have you guys set all that up is that you funnel everything. You're not gonna use those 5 or 6 projects forever. About 30 days, it's going to become predictive intelligence. And so you're going to want to that's how you're training your system. You'll leave it in there because you'll leave all that information in there and it'll power the intelligence. But what we have is modes, guys. You can go into modes to the entry screen, and you can go available RCI modes. Default mode is always in default mode. Anytime you're done in here, you can go return to default. Always use return to default. And anytime you're switching, switch to lender mode, switch to rehab mode. So we got default, we got resident. Most people are going to be in the resident mode. If you're out there raising capital and stuff, you're probably going to want to be an operator or lending. But also what you guys want to think about is we have TC for transaction coordinators. Wholesaling is also good for residents because there's a lot of tools in there for wholesaling. Learning mode is what we're going to go through tonight real quick. Agent modes for real estate agents and mortgage brokers. It's different from agent mode. That I'll show you in a minute. It's actually part of the GPT. Tax lien mode is where you can find all the tax liens, IRS, stuff like that. Rehab mode, obviously, you guys have rehab scope of work. Comms mode is all the communications outreach, A2P, all this stuff for SMS, for texting, all this, it's all compliant. So you guys can go in there and put all your comms stuff together. But what we're going to talk
real quick, just real quick, maybe I missed it. Default, is that loan default, like late non-performing loans?
No, default just means that it's in default mode.
Okay.
It's just in the modes.
It could be for any reason. I mean, it could default because the insurance has lapsed on the house or something. There's just all kinds of different ways for it to happen.
All default mode is this is just the general mode that everybody goes into when you first go into the mode.
Okay.
It's not anything to do with default or anything. That's completely
Okay.
So this is where you want to start your place and where you want to end up. It would be the place to go to default, because if anything's screwed up, you go right back where you started. So that's your default mode, so to speak. You just got to figure out where you want to start this thing and where you want to end up, and then put that in there.
So the best thing is learning mode. In learning mode, you can ask it's anything real estate, even business stuff, because we put a lot of stuff in there. We power 12,000 pages of documents and materials and 19,000 contacts, lending and family office, lenders and all that. We got lists from NPLA, AAPO. We got 19,000 contacts. So it's got in there. So it's and I can show you guys in the GPT how it's powered. All 7 GPTs have about 20 PDFs, words, and Excel documents with a lot of information, instructions. I mean, it's very.
Yeah, that's probably the other thing. Nate was mentioning the MPLA. Once you get this thing going and running, which he's already said it doesn't take more than about a month, you might want to start thinking about putting some money away and getting in touch with the MPLA and becoming a member, because you're going to end up rubbing noses with some really, really, really big people. And if they see what you got and you're able to show them this kind of stuff that you come up with, you get yourself a much better position to get some cash when you walk out of there those 2 or 3 days that you're there, or a day and a half, or whatever it is. These two come together like bread and butter. Yeah. So that's the next thing you do once you get this thing established, running the way you want it, and it's producing the results you want. Then you get enough money put together to get a deal, secure the deal, pull enough money out to get your membership in MPLA, and you're good to go. That's what you need to do here.
Okay, guys, so we'll get back to learning mode. So anything is a concept background, beginner-friendly frameworks, glossary-style explanations. It has all the training plans and step-by-step learning. And you can ask for the basic, or you could even ask probably to the, can I have the MIT version of it? It'll teach you anything. At 2:17 in the morning, if you wake up and there's something that you want to go pursue, and you don't know, you don't have to go find a guru or a program. You can just plug it in. So you can go in here and ask questions like, explain DSCR like I'm new to investing. Teach me how wholesaling works. Build me a 30, 60, 90-day learning plan for acquisitions. So it says, send your topic, your question, or goal. It'll teach you from a learning mode perspective. So it's kind of cool that way. You can do that anytime. And then, like I said, once you're done, you can just go return to default. And it'll take you right back to where you can switch modes. And then when you get back there, you can go back and you can go, hey, so it's kind of cool. It gets into the summary, the next actions, the template examples, when useful, risk flags, and a time box. So here, what are you working on? You tell it what you're working on, what you wanted to do. Really, the most work you're going to have is in your first 7 to 30 days. After you've onboarded, you've done the steps in there, you've established your markets, you've set up your tools, deal analysis area, all that stuff. And those are PDFs that I have to guide you through those. I will generally send everybody the first about 5 PDFs. And then the rest of them I kind of hold back on until you start like ramping up a little bit. So keep in mind, we do have one thing that's kind of cool. I'll show you in a second. That's actually I put in, I don't think Kevin or Jesse's even seen this yet. But let me go ahead. Yeah, let me go ahead and put in, let me get back to my projects real quick. And then let's see.
Real quick, while you look this up, how many guys are you planning on allowing into this?
Well, we're actually a lot fewer than probably people would think, because there's more people that are going to be using the apps that we have that I've been posting about, because the ones that are offline, the ones that work offline could go to anybody. But I mean, literally, the best thing, James, is also like for what you're doing, what other people are doing, is you guys on these Zooms, you get to meet a lot of people that are like-minded. But we're actually trying to not go like we're on thousands of people, because we don't have to do the tech support and all that, for that. When I do tweaks, everybody will tell you that some of my group now that between about 8 o'clock in the morning and my time in Denver at about noon, I'm at my laptop. You just screenshot or copy and paste something on Messenger, send it to me. I can get you a solution in a couple of minutes. I'm usually good at responding unless it's like 2 in the morning or I'm driving. And I tell everybody 7 days a week, if there's something going on, like I'll usually tell somebody, what's going on ahead of time. But let me real quick show one thing in the GPT that I want to show, and then I'm going to show a couple other things that are really cool. This is really just kind of more orientation for people who are using it. But I built this, what they call the Build My Distressed Deal Playbook. This is kind of like a fast track, because it does take, like I said, it could take 7 to 30 days to become predictive intelligence. Predictive means like all of a sudden I knew what I was doing, and it's throughout surplus and overbid. I've been in the business 8 years. I never knew what surplus and overbid was. Now I'm like, that's a pretty good business opportunity. And if you guys need more information, I can do that. So this is distressed deal playbook. So your operator system for moving from raw distress signals to qualified conversations, deal analysis, offer path, contract, and repeatable scale. So it's got everything: deal distress intelligence, your deal analysis, MRA to ARV comps, skip tracing, rehab scope of work, comms, dialer, and VA ops. Now, it doesn't have a dialer, but you can actually plug everything that you generate into a dialer. I recommend everybody, a lot of people use Go High Level. You guys can connect to like Go High Level into it. I mean, even Spotify, I don't know why people need Uber Eats connected to their GPT, but you can do it. What I do recommend is Airtable, which you can get the free version, and Dropbox for more physical documents, PDFs and stuff. But one of the cool things,
Dropbox is pretty smooth when you tie it into this, and you need to do the same thing with DocuSign, because that's another thing. You could get everything done on one. You wouldn't even have to go to the courthouse because some of these people do that halfway. So you basically have a DocuSign account, and what Nate's talking about, you get those 2 or 3 sitting there, and then you pretty much can automate this machine if you want to. Just a matter of pushing a couple buttons, and you've had it. You don't have. There's not a whole lot to having to maintain once you get this set up the way he's talking about it and dialed in the way you want it.
So guys, this is really cool. And so this is basically you lock your market, your asset type, your strategy, distress signals. This is like a fast track. Build a 3-source distress map and normalize your first 20 leads. Score each lead. You can score to BuyBox fit, equity, ownership, duration, and EVS. I'll have it explain EVS in a minute. Only EVS 3+, that'll score it. That's the scoring system, and a skip tracing and outreach. You can run a visible pipeline so every lead has a stage, next action, and owner. Like anybody's doing like capital raising or lending, anything that's not in here, it'll actually modify it for you. I don't have to do it. You can actually ask it to create that track for you. It'll do that. You can learn it in learning mode, or you can come over and do it here. So operating is not to contact the most people. The goal is to contact the right owners at the right time with the right message. So you go through intel, qualification, outreach, offer, contract, close, review, repeat. And then I said phase 1 is distress intelligence. You get into probate, your proof of closure, your tax delinquent, vacant property code violations. The only things we have issues with are paywalls. So when you talk about like California and Illinois, Chicago, we do have it in the new apps that we're building with Claude that we built. They are a little bit there's obviously two companies, OpenAI and Anthropic. OpenAI does not like the word scrape. Put scrape in here right now, and you'd see it almost like you'd probably see my laptop start smoking. It does not like scrape. Anthropic has no problem.
It's like fingernails on a chalkboard to this particular program, anyway. Let's put it that way.
You go through, then your step 2 is going to be qualification. And so you're obviously got your BuyBox in there. You got your markets. You start telling it what you're going to do. You have 10 to 12 sessions over the first 30 days. It's going to learn you. You're teaching it. You are teaching this. It's your employee. You're telling it exactly what you want it to do. You always want to tell it, and I'll explain that in agents. You always want to tell it what it is, what it's doing, what it, the parameters of what you're asking for, like a job description, what you want for return, and how you want the input, output, and where. Do you want it to go to Gmail? Like I was saying earlier, I recommend everybody set up a free Gmail just because it's free. It's Google. It's always going to be there. Set it up, get your password and your login, come back, and you go to apps here in your sidebar, click on it. You scroll down into productivity, Gmail. Connect it. It takes about a minute. Then you can start having all your stuff sent to Gmail, where it just saves it as a backup. If you use Gmail, where you can go into Airtable, and I can explain there's a free version. There's some videos on YouTube on how to set it up. It takes about 30 minutes. And then Dropbox. Those 3 things are really essential. You don't need like all the sophisticated CRMs. You're basically using your own, and the AI, and the way that this has been, I've got 1,500 hours of this. The way this is set up is you will be able to actually have it all automated. It's going to talk you through the process. Within 30 days, this thing is going to be unbelievable for you. So like I said, you go to qualification. Phase 3 is going to be your ARV, your comps, and your deal framing. And it's going to come up with closing costs. It's going to suggest exit strategies. Guys, we did one last week in my town of Evergreen, and it came up with, it found like, I think there was like 51 properties on that NED, that Notice of Election Demand from Jefferson County. And it listed 5 properties that were the best deals. And I don't have a BuyBox, mine's more generic in here because I'm using my agents to help all of you. It basically ranked this property in Evergreen, where I live, as the #1 property. It came up with exit strategies. It had 3 or 4. Most of the time, when we start talking about properties in here and these deals, it's going to make a lot of suggestions to you. One of my grandparents' old house that they sold in 2004, it's been renovated twice. It mentioned the ADU ordinance that just passed in Denver became law January 1st. And it said if you put about $150,000 into building an ADU. It'll generate $539,000 in valuation and revenue as a rental over the next 10 years. I mean, it actually suggested that. And I like, wow, it picked up on Denver having an ordinance change. It's going to pick stuff up for you. It's pretty cool.
So real quick, it can estimate the rehab.
Yeah, there's we have rehab.
Be able to. That'd be the easy thing to do for that. But
well, there's rehab mode. There's rehab mode.
Different.
And then, like I said, we've got a GPT for rehab and scope of work that's a lot more detailed. What we also said, if you're doing residential, you can actually connect. I have the same PDF that has Gmail on it has HomeWise. If anybody's never heard of HomeWise, it's HomeWise is WYSE. Now there's no API, so it does take maybe about 20-30 minutes to finagle it, but you can actually tap into HomeWise. And HomeWise is awesome. I was using it 10 years ago when I was in the construction and remodeling business. It's pretty accurate. You can go in and dial into the zip code. It gives you sometimes 3 choices: low, median, high. It allows you to adjust overhead and profit like a contractor. You can go in there. It can be a little slow, but keep in mind you are training the system over probably the first 30 days. The most work you're going to have is going to be about the first 30. It's not a system when you get it, turn it on, it's fully functional. There's a lot of stuff it's going to do anyway. You can ask it questions right away. Like I said, you want to use this as a kind of a fast track. Next, we're going to get a skip trace. Only after qualification, we got primary enrichment, secondary evaluation, deep intelligence for harder cases, higher value opportunities. We have the skip tracing war room prompt. That PDF is also in the RCIC Facebook group files section. But also we have the one of the apps that we have now that I'll have for you guys May 1st. You'll be able to probably have your activation link for RCIsystems.com, and then the 7 off-ramps that are in there. And then there's apps. They do work offline, so you can actually do skip tracing with RCIC Systems as well. Like I said, Claude, like it allows you to scrape. So you guys have all the tools in the world, more than anybody else. I mean, literally 12,000 documents, 19,000 lending and funding contacts in Capital Passport.
Real quick, on skip tracing, because besides raising capital, we're going to start wholesaling commercial. Yeah. Also, looking for deals for us too, right? So we're kind of doing a little bit of both, but so can this skip trace entities as well? Or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're able to skip tracing war room prompt and set that up. And like I said, you want to set up a project for skip tracing, use the GPTs, but also, like I said, I'll send you over the Claude, that stuff. And it has the RCIsystems.com has pretty sophisticated, a lot more than skip tracing. So you'll have 2 complete systems to run that can get all your skip tracing. Like I was saying earlier, sometimes the jurisdictions have information, PropStream, Deal Machine, Goliath. They don't want you to know because they want to sell you a skip tracing, or they want to jack up their price of their regular, of the regular subscription. There's a lot of times that the information is in the counties have it. There's a couple places, like I said, not only if they served a foreclosure notice, the process server sheriff has to get that document signed. Whoever serves them, that's going to have their current email address, their phone number, and their email address is going to be all on there. And that's a good place to go. Another place to go in the AHJ, the authority having jurisdiction, when you're over there at the county clerk and recorder or the public trustee or whoever's in charge of that at the county, stay on the county website and go to the building department. Go or whoever issues building permits. If there's a current permit, not saying there is, but if there is a current permit or a permit that had that homeowner involved, the contractor had to put their email address and phone number and all that on the permit, because the building inspector has to call to coordinate entry, especially if it's an interior job. So it's kind of cool. So there's a couple places that they don't ever let you to tell. If you have to get into anything else, we got you covered. You just have to use the skip tracing war room prompt. And then Eric, who's Lulu in our group, is his Facebook handle. He told me it's basically insane, and he's built on to what we built. He took 1,000, he generated 1,000 foreclosures. He entered them in there through the deal analysis tools, through ARV comps and all that, got it down to 10 properties in a skip trace. And he said it was insane. He said it's gonna blow your mind. So he's built onto it. Eric's gonna be on in the next week or two to kind of show people what he's taken. Because you guys go for when you guys start building onto it, build it your way. This is like Burger King, man. You start liking things and you want to build onto it. You're gonna
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
also encourage people after about 30 days, once it's connected, you build your own GPT. All you gotta do is go to the GPTs over here on the left, and you get down to the explore GPTs, guys, and there's a you go up here and you can go and create, and it'll help you create a GPT. And real quick while we're there, and I'll come back to where I was just at. These are, this is actually where the GPTs are. Let me show you what Core is. These are all of our GPTs. And like I said, you get them all, and I give you the link for the Chat GPT link and the Bitly link. So you got two links. If they ever get broken, you just hit me up a messenger and I'll resend it to you. Sometimes the links, they get broken or something. Never sweat. Just call me. Here's RCIC Core. So I'll go to RCIC Core real quick, guys. There's those 4 conversation starters I just showed you on this prompt screen. Over here is you got to put a title, a description. You get 8,500 words, characters or less to do instructions. And then you got the conversation starters. It'll let you have like up to 10, but it only lets you have 4 on the screen. So you got to prioritize. Here's the knowledge safe pack, core skip trace intelligence, all that's in there. The prompt library is in there. The deal structure handbook. All this is everything that I've powered it with. All 7 GPTs are full. I've put 20 words, Excels, everything in there to power all this. We're in thinking mode 5.4. Guys, 5.5 is supposed to come out pretty quick. If you don't have it, if you haven't signed up for OpenAI yet, and you don't have to ever worry about it. It'll just show up like one time it was on a Wednesday and I asked when 5 was coming out. With 5 hadn't come out yet. And it told me it wasn't coming out for a while. Then I saw that same afternoon, someone said 5 was coming out that weekend. So I asked it again. I said, "Oh yeah, you're going to get it this weekend." I woke up Saturday. That was Wednesday. I woke up Saturday morning and 5 was in my system. It automatically changes it. Just make sure that I recommend whatever the current model is, and I'll make that change. And so here's the capabilities and all that. So that's actually what you guys see in the GPT. And then basically anyone with a link, and so that's where I get the link, that I send to you guys. So it's
So
kind
if we sign up as a founder, we get it for life, and then obviously we're not going to. Are there going to be any upsells, anything like that, or
no.
no?
The only decision you guys will have to make, anybody, and most of the people that are on right now are already in. I think you're the only one that's like a prospect still that's on right now. So the only decision you guys are going to make is you got a $20 month subscription with OpenAI. If you guys have business partners, like if there's 3 or 4 of you, you want to have your own individual one. Then you guys might want to look at the business plan for all of you guys. That's $25 a month per seat or $20 per seat. That is with OpenAI. Cloud is the same way. It's a $20 subscription. You'll have to decide if you want the Cloud, because I'm giving you all the apps, 15 apps, all work offline, but RCI Systems and the 7 off ramps that are listed on that website all require the AI. So you have to make that.
Which one's better, Claude or Chat?
We're using both of them. I mean, literally, because
just use both. Okay.
Yeah, everything's built, but I mean, you can use just the apps offline that I send you. You don't have to go and use the whole Cloud thing for the 20, but the apps will work offline. They're just not as strong. They're just not tied into it. Because one of the apps that I built, which doesn't have GPT, also helps is it actually will scroll, and it's the RCIC DIU distress intelligence. It's one I've actually posted a couple of times to show the mock-up of it. It actually works. I just got to plug in the AI because that'll actually start scrolling all the opportunities. So when you put your market in, it actually, like you put in your counties, instead of popping up on the screen here, it'll pop up in your scroll on the app. And the app's not like you can use it on the phone, but you can use it on a laptop and or desktop. But it'll scroll and actually show your properties. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So yeah, you just have to make that decision. Like I said, you got a $20 month subscription to OpenAI, and there's potentially another one with Cloud. After that, your total spend, because you're not going to have to spend money on skip tracing or anything, your total spend will be maximum of $40 a month. Now, that doesn't include if you have LLCs and other things, but anything that has to do with anything we're doing, RCIC, $20 and $20. That's it for your monthly spend. And that's up to you if you want to get Cloud as well. Ideally, people should get both, but it's up to them. you do need the GPT with OpenAI because that is what powers all this.
Okay.
People have looked at what I've done and they've tried to go build it themselves and they come right back to me because it's like, oh, it doesn't give me that detail. Keep in mind, I got 1,500 hours. I've powered it with, like I said, 12,000 documents, pages, materials, books, workbooks, playbooks, everything, 19,000 contacts. We have 7 databases of family offices, hedge funds, pension fund, endowment funds. And then we have 5 databases of private money lenders and hard money lenders. Those are all the systems from Capital Passport. Capital Passport is available. We got a GPT, but everything's in core. So core has like everything, but then we have the GPTs, the other 6, which you do as well. You can just, engage as like comms. It's all your email, all your outreach, all your texting, helps you write letters. Rehab scope of work is self-explanatory. Capital Passports, all your capital sources.
And when he says that,
yeah,
we are, well, I can speak to it. I'm one of the founders of the private money industry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is the whole point. Nate, and we have enough stuff on file that we've amassed over the last probably 10, 15 years. He's got over 7, 8 years, and I've got close to, well, right at 16 years worth of this stuff that is going to be available in this thing that you could pick up, put in your little machine, like he's been telling you about how to do that. And you're going to see some really, really incredible results when it goes to funding.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
great.
Okay. I mean, you want to do all this stuff for capital raising. I do have an app for capital raising as well, but you can use Capital Passport here. You get that GPT, and it's like you can run this deal through Capital Passport. You can change, all the different modes in Capital Passport. Write capital source, your deal borrower profile. You can build onto it, so you can build your components, whatever you think that you need extra. Okay, I'm also going to show you guys real quick an agents. So they did actually put agent mode in here, and I haven't played with it yet too much. They did add it now as a new feature. So you guys can now deploy. This is brand new. This is as of Monday. So this is the first time I've even looked at it outside of myself. But yeah, you can guys go to the templates. You get all the templates. You can get these with part of OpenAI. Not these aren't RCIC specific, but you got data analysis. You can set up support for customer support. These are all the things you can do that they can set you up with agents. Because we do have agent mode. I'll show you guys agent mode. But here's a cool lot of stuff. Chief of staff. Her a high signal operating brief from schedule inbox and team chat context. This is awesome. They've got customer reply drafter. They got data analysis, sales assistant, SQL, crafter, campaign copy generator, contract clause triage. I mean, all this stuff. Finance of the month. It's got everything. Knowledge search, IT stuff, marketing, everything. This is GPT, and you can work with Gmail, Google Calendar, Microsoft Outlook email, Slack, Teams. That's pretty cool. That's all in the agents that you can actually just deploy automatically. But what we also do is that I will, what I recommend now, I'm going to show you guys real quick something that's really, let me go back to one of my things real quick. So this is where I set up Thursday night. So when you guys deploy an agent, like the agents that we're talking about, not the GPT, you would come to here. You just, that's the plus, and then you get an agent mode right there. So keep in mind it connects you with Adobe Photoshop. Canvas is basically, this is a canvas, the screen. That's what OpenAI calls it. PayPal, Quizzes, Google Drive, Dropbox. But you want to go to agent mode. And so then you got this little blue agent. To get out of it, you just clicked on that blue X. So you want to talk about it. You are a scout. I always call it, because it gets to know this, a distress intelligence scout. Scout for, let's just say, Harris County, Texas market. Can you generate off ramps? And I always put /links. While you're learning it, you want to kind of always say off ramps and links, and while you're training it for foreclosure and other distress signals and show me the listings and filings, NAD, NOD, and list pendants as applicable. So now watch this when I go and put that in there. You always want to tell it what it is, what it's the job description, what do you want it to do, where do you want it to go, and how do you want it to return to you, what kind of message. I'm going to show you guys this one, and I'm going to show you guys some reports I get. I get 2 reports a week, and I have my agents. Out of my 40 agents, you get 40 agents like this a month, and it tells you you got 36. You got 9 left. You get replenished next month on this day. So here you guys go. There's a search. Anything you guys can do, you guys can generate a live search. It's going to do it, and it could take anywhere from a minute to 10 minutes sometimes. You guys are going to see it's basically now it won't go through paywalls. And sometimes when you get into stuff like different counties and stuff, you may still have to do captions. Go in there and have to do your little human verification. There's nothing we can do to prevent that, but it takes like 5 seconds to go in there and hit human verification or do a caption. Other than that, it'll go through everything. It won't see you through a paywall. But yeah, you guys
would it pop up here, the captions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll pop up right here on your screen. And I have it also. I'm going to show you after it's done here. One of the reports I get back. I get, like I said, 10 a week. I get one from my state. I run everything from Casper, Wyoming, south to Puddle, Colorado, west to like Summit County, where Breckenridge and the ski resorts are, east about 50 miles west of Denver. So I get one report that covers all those counties. It's pretty substantial because it's got Denver, Colorado Springs, and all. A lot of the counties have 500,000 people in it. Some people run them in different jurisdictions. I also run some national ones, and I did put 50 markets in there that I identified back in September, October. 6,513 zip codes. I can't obviously bring you that information. You don't have that many agents, but I've been kind of programming it so I can go there and kind of build market guides and send you over. So if somebody's in Indianapolis, I can make a market guide for that. I got Franklin County, Cuyahoga County, Ohio. We got Tarrant County, Dallas County, Bexar, a couple in Texas. So when you're on board, you tell me what you're looking to do. After you get on board, and then the next morning I'll send you over a PDF, and that's your market guide. That tells you where you're going in those jurisdictions. If you're national, I still tell you to start with 3 to 5 and add a couple every week on your own. Like I said, you can take that market guide I make for you, enter as a PDF with the pluses, and ask it to duplicate in the counties. Always use county and zip codes because that's going to dial.
And you said this is for single family, right? Does it work as well for commercial as well?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can ask us specifically. Can you look for multifamily? You put you put that in your BuyBox to begin with.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Then you go and tell it, and it's going to go and run through the resources. Some of the resources may be the same because there's some places that have been distressed, they still haven't listed. And then the scraping tools that we have with Claude will help with that as well. You can do any asset class, any strategy, any role. But like I said, I try to show you guys. This pulls up a lot of information. You can be sitting here for like 10 minutes sometimes, and it'll pull up a lot of information.
And you said 10 reports a week or a month?
I'm getting 10. I could get 40. I'm only using 10 of my agents because I'm usually having 30 when I'm building stuff for people. But you could use all 40. What I recommend is if somebody's in like 3 counties or 5 counties, use an agent for each of those counties. If you're into multiple, you could use an agent for 5 counties if they're all next to each other. You really can't. I mean, you can, but it takes some finagling if you're like Florida and Texas and you got 2 states and 5 counties, because somebody's tried that before and it doesn't work as well because it's basically tapping into like Florida and then it's got to go tap into Texas. So you want to run those as separate agents if they're in different states.
And so pretty much if we have 40 reports, we could run 40 states essentially, and now.
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you have multiple, like I said, that if you have multiple business partners, 2 or 3 people, and you each have your own individual account, you can each run 40 agents. And then if you guys have a business account, I always recommend that if you guys got agents, because you guys always maintain your own accounts. And that way, if you guys ever break up, partnership, you guys don't lose it.
Yeah, yeah.
If you guys, that's a decision you got to make. Like we have our individual accounts, and Jesse and I have share our business account, and then we'll put other people on it. But that's a decision you guys have to make on how you want to do that. But that would give you more agents. Within, somebody could be deploying all the agents for distress intelligence. Somebody could be deploying their agents now go pull comps. So you go pull Harris County. Now you go pull comps, and you have a follow it, so it hands it off. So let's say it pulls up these 8 listings that meet your exact buy box, right? Now the second agent's going to go to those 8 listings, then it's going to start pulling comps around there. You determine in your comps, and you put that in your comp project that I want comps within a mile. I want them less than 3 months or less than 6 months. You define what you want, what you're looking for. You can expand or contract at any time. So if a county starts getting overwhelming, you can cut it back or cut it out altogether. You can change county. You do this on the fly. You can do it at 2 a.m. You don't even need me at that point. You can go make.
Here's the other thing. Keep in mind, it's going to take a month for this thing to really just be humming like a well-oiled machine. So how long is it going to take for you to go through 40 agents?
Okay, I see.
See, are you going to make a run for like 5 or 6 days on the same using the same agents and then switch to something else? This is kind of what you need to look at because it's modularized. And you can have 4, 5, 6 different tasks, and that's just a matter that you have 40 agents to do it with.
We have a tool called Overnight Deal Engine, and it takes 12 agents to run. These agents that I run, they run all the time, so I'm not deploying them all the time. But I'll show you guys after I have this PDF. I'll show you one of the reports I get and how I get it, and then I can show you where I can go from the reports and how the off ramp and on ramp works. Once you've seen this and you're in it, you're like, this is a no brainer. You just got to remember a little bit of patience. Like I said, you get stuck, you get a question, you just copy and paste or screenshot it, get it to me between 8 o'clock in the morning and noon my time. I'm live on my laptop. People will tell you I'm pretty good. Unless, like I said, if I'm going to be out of town somewhere, or not out of town, but if I'm going to be, a couple hours, I got to go do something, dentist appointment or something like that, I'll tell people. Generally, I'm still responding on my phone. Hey, I'll be home in an hour. I'll run it. But I generally fix everything. There's a solution for everything. The biggest thing to use is learning mode. If you go there and you follow that buy box in the first screen, you build all that, then the biggest thing is after that is learning mode. You tell it what you want to do, and you can ask it as many questions. It knows all about raising capital. It's got all the SEC stuff in there. It's got Regulation D, Regulation B, Form D, all that stuff is in there. So just generate a report. I'll send you this report later so you guys can, I know people, so you can see what's on it. So when I get my reports, keep in mind you want to use projects. Projects is where everything's retained. Chats are great just to have communications with it. I was using chats. You guys can see this before January. Now I use all projects. But when you get these reports, they go to your email. And it's separate to one Gmail. It'll automatically send these reports to like your whatever email address is on record for OpenAI. If you're going to do the Gmail thing I suggested, that is separate. It'll send it to that Gmail. You can still get them to like your business email or whatever. So you want to set up that Gmail to receive it. But I get these reports back when we pick one. So I'll just pick this one. It takes a second to populate. So when you click on it in your email, it's a link, and then it just comes back and opens a chat in ChatGPT. So this is actually cool. This is a national one. I have one for Colorado. So this is one I get every Thursday, and I get it probably about an hour before our Thursday Zoom. Sometimes I've been able to look at it, sometimes I haven't. So this is Thursday afternoon from last week. Basically, it scans through 6,513 zip codes. It runs it over the last 48 hours, 50 markets. I can expand to 100. I'm pretty much now at the point where I'm generally running this report, but I'm letting you guys, when you guys have market guides, because you guys can dial in specifically. I would burn up all my agents doing that if I was with the people we got in the group. So it's going to tell you what's going on nationally, how many eviction filings, how many, it tells you plus or minus, how many foreclosure notices, sheriff and trustee sales, how many probate filings, tax lien tax sales, vacancy code enforcement that it can find, overbid excess funds. So there's no centralized U.S. system. And obviously off-ramps to Wikipedia. You don't really need to go to Wikipedia. But that's the off-ramp I was mentioning, James. So you go there and you can click on that. You go to Wikipedia. You're going to see off-ramps and on-ramps. Like I said, the on-ramps goes back to the taskbar where I got my OpenAI down here. But the off ramp are these little links. When you first start, you may have to just copy and paste and go put in your browser as you're training, and eventually you can go right to the foreclosure list, like the county. I'll try to show one tonight. This shows you top markets by activity, key zips and signals: Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Phoenix, Houston, Atlanta, Chicago. It goes down to the top 50, and it's got the zip codes. It'll tell you what's going on in the zip codes. Like in Colorado Springs, Colorado, 80916 and 80919 are right next to each other, and there's completely different situations going on with foreclosures between an older established community neighborhood, a zip code. A lot of older homes, fluency, people own their houses outright. If they have loans, probably HELOCs and stuff. Whereas 80916 is all built in the last 15, 20 years. People have refied there, and some of them are in trouble. So it actually will tell you that. It'll actually give you little updates on why this kind of looks good. It's where there's smoke, there's fire. Look at it that way. Zip codes, velocity leaders. It tells you exactly what the zip codes: Miami, Phoenix, Houston, Atlanta, Chicago, Philadelphia. You can have these running within 2 weeks to a month. That's why I said it really takes it will happen right away in the first couple of days. But literally every week it becomes more and more predictive, meaning it's going to start using your BuyBox and all your workflow. It learns from you. The other beauty is nobody can see it. We have 8 people on right now. Nobody can see. I can't even see what you're doing. That's how secure it is. But what happens is all the intelligence, all the work that everybody does compounds. The AI, everything actually compounds, so it actually makes everything stronger. It retains a lot of the information, so it helps everybody. So back to your question earlier about how many people we want in this. I mean, we're going to let fewer people on the GPT stuff than we are with Claude, because of Claude I can put apps out to hundreds of people. What this is with the founders, and they're going to have the GPT access, but we're not going to. Literally, at some point, we're going to be like, hey, we have enough, people out there doing this. So here's some noticeable new cases. Like I said, it'll give you the address, the case number, and this is the off ramp, the sheriff's sale. This is where you want to go. You just want to click on that. It'll take you right to it. There's the information again, and these are all in Pennsylvania. And you get Butler County, Pennsylvania. Hey, Doris, you're on Pennsylvania. I got a lot of stuff in here. Butler County, obviously. Erie County. Then you get to the top 10 fastest moving micro markets. It'll tell you how many. It gives you the zip code, and you can go deep dive. Here's your top 25 actionable opportunities. It's going to give you the address, the market, the case number that it's under, postponed for foreclosure. When's the next date? It goes down to 25 opportunities. So if you're wholesaling nationwide, you want to get something like this, and you could just go and copy and paste it, and then have it just start generating all the information. Use your projects for that, and set up a project and just scan all these and have it go through and look at all the information, and it'll do it in minutes. Foreclosure activity is rising nationally, 12 straight months, year on year, and increasing. It gives you there's the source, and you can also plug in sources down here too. It's cool. Here's your estate linked foreclosures, probate county sheriff feeds, and all that. So this is one report I get a month. I may give this every week. Let me see if this one's different. This is my Colorado. I'll go here because if it's Colorado, I'll show you guys, because I know these AHJs since I live here. And that's just
does the AI ever slow down though? Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Yeah, does it ever slow down?
No.
No. Okay.
What's going to end up happening here is the nature of the beast. I'm tracking it in 2 other industries as it is that I'm involved in as well. It's not just this. It will exponentially, it's an exponential program. It will exponentially build on whatever foundation that you set in whatever direction that you set it on. It will make a mid-course correction in a heartbeat just by you making a couple of changes in your direction. Okay? The whole point of the matter is it's going to get more and more accurate and be well over 90% accurate every time to what it is that you're trying to achieve. Be it lots of money, lots of property, lots of this, lots of that, whatever it is that you want to set your mind to getting done, it will actually do. So it becomes more efficient, it becomes faster, it becomes more dynamic, grandiose to the point of grandiose. That's how this thing works. And this is the very beginning of it. Anything
Okay.
else that's going to be put into this is going to be doing the same thing. So
Cool.
you guys are on the foundation here. And if it does like I think it's going to do, we won't be just dealing with the real estate empires. We'll be dealing with the real estate industry as a whole, because we will be the real estate industry as a whole.
Okay.
Because there'll be other things that are tied into here, like suppliers, supply chains, workforce services, all these different things that are going to be a part of your programs that you all are going to be using, okay, are all going to be tied into this thing.
So
now, you yourselves are going to have your own results for your own inputs, but there'll be a number of inputs that everybody's going to have. Basically, it's going to be the same, but it'll be just enough to make it grow. So the information that comes out of that base program is going to continue to grow and expand. Okay.
Okay.
So this is truly what is remarkable about this particular situation with this particular thing that Nate's talking about, we've been working on. We didn't set out to do this. This just dropped in our lap. And believe me when I say
static website with all this stuff I had, there was no way
we didn't throw anything out. And see, I haven't even brought he started working this, what was it, 15 or so when you got into this? Me, I started in 2009, 2010, but I was already in the real estate realm clear back at the turn of the last century, okay, in one form or another. I've done some crazy shit, but it's nothing like what this thing can do. So I guess you could say, if you ever had a chance to buy GM or ATL and over, this is the way it was back in my day, right? They'd be Fortune 500, whatever the hell. Now, this takes you into the trillionaire range. This takes you into a massive control position in a hurry. And the whole point is, every one of you that are in this thing, that are doing this, that are going to be doing these things, is starting something that's never been done before, will never be done again. It's like the Rockefellers and Carnegie and all these guys all over again. Yeah. And we're the ones doing it. Well, we're doing it in weather, I'm here to tell you, okay? And we're doing it in educational discounts or marketing. 3 distinctive industries. And one of them was developed by one of the developers of, one of the founders of tech. Okay. I'm founder of Private Money. He's founder of tech. He goes back in the 90s and late 80s. Okay. I knew about this stuff just watching these people. It's just a matter of time. So no, this is the spark that's going to start a whole nother thing. And you guys are basically the ones lighting the match. Just to let you know.
Let me finish up real quick because I'm good about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got things to get done here. Get ready for tomorrow.
This will actually pull up county level activity. And the bars show, it literally says the more bars, more activity. So you can have this for all your counties and jurisdictions. It's telling you what's going on: probate, foreclosure, evictions, and overbids. And then it gives you what it reads: stable pipeline, eviction heavy, foreclosure leader. You can kind of see where it's going with that. Then it gives you the level hot zones. Tier 1, active pressure. Tier 2, strategic picks. These are obviously in Colorado. You can have the same thing in your markets. What moves this week? It talks about Aurora, Denver, El Paso County, Colorado Springs, Jefferson County is where I live. Top 10 actionable activities with direct source access, meaning this is the off ramps I was talking about. And then Aurora's, you guys, if you don't, unless you have this, it can happen in other jurisdictions. Aurora splits between Arapahoe County and Adams County. So, you might have that situation where you've got 2 jurisdictions. Here's Denver, the Denver courts for eviction-driven turnover.
It's an airport county.
Yeah, here's Denver. Here's Lakewood, Colorado.
EIA is right in the middle of it.
County, Golden's part of Jefferson County, so they'll obviously go off the same AHJ. Authority-having jurisdiction. It comes from a term in the fire code and the building code. When you guys look at code books, it's in the first couple pages. When I was a county fire marshal and fire chief, I was the authority-having jurisdiction over my county or over my fire department, over the fire code. That's where I got that term from, AHJ. And it knows that. Colorado Springs, then you got Aurora, you got Denver. There's multi-county overbid funds. Here's your strategic reality check. I just started putting this together. I didn't ask for all this information. It became predictive. I started running these back in September, October. Every week, I get more information. I get 10 of these a week. Some of them I get like here's a nationwide. You'll see why this is nationwide data gaps. The only reason there's data gaps is like I don't have, because I would burn up my agents with everybody that's in the organization in like a week. So I've left some things out that I tell you that you guys will do, like connecting to Gmail, stuff like that. So I have some gaps somewhere. I know where they are. My whole thing is trying to demo and show you guys what you
Yeah,
can get.
gotcha. Yeah, my main goal is just getting the info, non-performing loans for commercial property, so I could call them, whether it's the bank
Yeah,
or the owner or what have you. Like, yeah, I'm not worried about because we have our own CR. We use Go High Level and everything too. I probably won't integrate it.
yeah.
Keep
Well,
it
you can. I
separate.
mean,
Yeah.
Well, that's the
there's
whole
a
thing,
thing. There's a thing in the
James.
sidebar.
You can take any one of these things that you already have access to that you're using now and plug into this, and it will give it 10 times the effort, and then you'll get 10 times the results. That's all you need to do. So we're talking about our stuff. Well, you plug what your stuff that you have already got in there and see what the hell happens.
Okay.
It's still going to be the same situation. That's why you're experiencing what you're going to be experiencing is unlike anything that you've ever seen before. And you're not going to believe it when you see it, but it's going to actually do 10 times or 100 times what you expect to ever have happen and not really have any issues regarding time involved.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be insane. You people are in for an adventure when you start your units up. You're going to be in for one hell of an adventure. It's not. It's almost going to be entertaining in the way that it happens. And even Nate mentioned that Claude does tend to get a little human every once in a while, and it does get to be a little entertaining. But I'm talking about expectations, all the different things that you didn't know that you could do that you found out you can't. I mean, it's going to be an exploratory nirvana when you get into this.
So
Cool.
here, so you saw those links that are in that report. Now I'm going to Jefferson County, Colorado. And so when you guys go to these off ramps here, I can go right to search foreclosures. It takes me right to where I need to go. I don't have to look. And you can get this to where you can pretty much automate it. It'll start bringing all the information, and you just got to go in there and spend 10 or 15 minutes going around to the jurisdictions. So you go to the foreclosure property search, and then like I was saying earlier, you do have to sometimes hit the terms and things. Sometimes I have to just to make sure everybody's seeing it. I do like to make sure everybody can see the screen when I'm sharing it. So if you have all the information, this goes for commercial too. If you have the foreclosure number, the address, zip codes, you can put it in there. Otherwise, what I'm showing a lot of people, you guys can go and just put in a foreclosure search, right? So I'm putting in the search through yesterday, April 1st or April 21st, in just one county in Colorado. Granted, there's 500,000 people live in this county. Guess what? I just hit up 16 records. So you could actually just copy and paste everything and go put it in one of your projects for triage. You could call it triage or whatever you want, and have it go through there and start comparing all these to your BuyBox.
It's just going to continue to, what it's going to do is it's going to be fine tuned like the first time you turn your machine on. I've told you it was going to take about 3-4 weeks. Well, with what you already have, you possess, when you do that, you're already fine tuning it to continue to do that. So you're incorporating yourself and on what you've been doing into this personally. It takes possession of it. And then you get all these other things that we have on top of that. You're the one that's in the driver's seat to figure out what you want to do and how to make it work.
So here's
everything that you got works with what you got coming to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now I've chosen one of these, mainly because I live in Evergreen. I know exactly where this house is in subdivision. So here it's going to, on many searches, it's going to give you guys the property, the legal description, the subdivision, the name of the current owner, and the address. So here, I'm not going to show you guys everything, every detail, because we'd be here for like another hour, but I'll just kind of show you how to work it. So you can go to documents. You want to get like in Colorado, CDOT's called the Department of Transportation. There's also a thing for the fire department because we're in a wildfire zone for any kind of property, real estate stuff. The invoice that you see is for them to run an ad, $8 ad. They're required to sell it. That's another source for public records. The NED is what you guys really want, is the NED, and I'll show you guys what that is in a minute. The notice of election of demand. Every state's different. Notice of election of demand, or NOD, notice of default, list pendants and non-judicial state. You can get it all. So here's the withdrawal. There's obviously no withdrawal of this. The mortgage company would have to withdraw. Sale information is scheduled August 13th. It's got all the information. Fifth Third Bank National Association. This is the initial holders bid information. Obviously, this will get filled out if there is an actual foreclosure. Here's the lienors, additional lienors. There's none. Publications, golden transcript. I just mentioned that publication, $8 to, most jurisdictions are as cheap as possible. Golden transcript for the little 1 inch by 1 inch ads. It's the only thing required. $8. So they're going to have that. They're also going to have here's your mailings, guys. Dennis W. Burns, he's the homeowner. U.S. Bank is the mortgage company. Parties in possession, tenants, leases. The Sayer Law Group represents the mortgage company. Here's occupants. This is where all the mailings got noticed. So here's some of your skip tracing stuff. You can actually start, there's some where we found one 2 weeks ago when we did this, where the person had moved to Oregon because they were served in Oregon. Guess what? If they were just served in Oregon, you don't have to skip trace. You have their current information. You're able to actually get the process serving document. That does depend on the state, but you can always get the process serving document. It's public record. Law firm. Guess what? If you can go to the mortgage company, you have their information. Guess what? You can also go to the mortgage company's attorney. And then you have to see, here's the deed information that will get filled in if it transfers. There's the cure, and when the cure intent it has to be cured by. Here's the basics, some important stuff. And this is on anything, even commercial. When the recorded date is, when the reception number is, the scheduled sale date, this, like I said, deed of trust, recorded date, reception number. You got all this information, loan information, FMA, what the original principal was, what the outstanding principal is, balance of date, what the interest rate is, what type of interest rate is it, who is the current note holder, the grantee, and the grantor. You got a lot of information you can plug right into it. Here comes the address again. I'm going to go and I'm actually going to pull Ned for it. Let me go back there again. So this is actually the Ned. So now, guess what? I'm going to on-ramp back, right? And normally I'm going to show you guys here, but normally I'm going to go to, because I'm going to show you guys where I go put this information in. So now I'm going to go to my downloads and simple. And put that net in. And I'm going to have it real quick. I'm going to have it. It's going to take a second to populate.
It's fine. While it's doing that, I was thinking of signing up for the RCIC Intelligence, but I mean, if this works just as well for the commercial stuff,
Yeah, I can tell you a little secret. Probably not on the recording. I've actually, and it doesn't work all the time, but I ran my mouse over RCIC Intelligence and it actually read it when I put it in RCIC.
It should work a couple of times. Anything is a public filing, period, as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this works, dude, because you could have built it this way. RCIC Intelligence, you're doing whatever they want to give you. If there's something in here that you need, you can add it yourself, or you hit me up and we can add it. Plus, I'll even build you one of the other apps off Cloud. I'm going to be building apps for everybody in the group starting in May. Once that RCI Systems is up in the 7th quarter, I'm going to start working on apps. So we can sit down on one-on-one, and I can build an app, and it works offline. If you guys want to use it, really, then you can connect it. You get a Netlify. Netlify.com, and Netlify they have free, and they have a paid version, $9, $20 and all that. But if you're just hosting to a couple apps, you can get by with the free, and you could host your own there. You could actually power it up like you want. And I can put all the intelligence stuff we have. Here it's reading the NED. It takes a second to read through it real quick because it's pretty extensive. But yeah, the NEDs give you a lot of good information. So you get all the documents and you just want to bring them back. Normally, like I said, I would put it in a project. It's kind of cool how that.
I got to learn more about the AI. I'm only using it for like basic commands, like edit this, rewrite this. So I got a lot of learning.
Now? Yeah. Do you have GPT? Do you have the GPT now? Which one do you use?
No, I got to sign up for. I just use the free versions of Claude and GPT.
Yeah.
So I gotta.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll help you guys. It's not that hard. Everything in here is almost like preset in a way. So generally, if you come on we do the Zooms Wednesday and Thursday nights. If you need a one-on-one, you let me know, and I've gone in planning an hour, been there 2 hours. Here you go. It just broke down the deal.
Cool.
So I just
Yeah,
read that.
this will teach you all you need to know about AI as you go through this. There's no doubt, because you'll find out how easy it is. That's what really gets you, because you kind of slap yourself upside the head. Why didn't I do this earlier? Probably because it wasn't around earlier.
So
But
James,
yeah, you're catching it at the right time.
Here's what it did with that NED that I just got from Jefferson County on this property. And you could go put the whole filing, all, you know.
Hold on, it's still on the screen. The Jefferson County?
Yeah, let me go back and stop screen. Sorry. I know. Thanks for telling me that. I always have to remind people. Because sometimes so basically I took that NED filing and I put it into my prompt bar. There it is right there. And now it took about 2 or 3 minutes. Here you go. This is a live deal breakdown. So it's got the source document. Here's the core filing details. It's got the public trustee, the reporting date, county, the homeowner, everything I was just talking about earlier. Legal description, amounts and foothills residential property, not low tier housing. Here's what happened. Borrower failed to pay principal and interest, lender elected foreclosure. So here you go. And here's your interpretation. This is an early stage. It just hit the NED. No sale yet. Timeline window is open. So you got somebody has plenty of opportunity, negotiation, equity. In this house, this area, and I was talking to Danny, who's my friend who runs Agents Gather. He told me that the ARV is probably 890 to 900,000. So the fact that they own like under 400,000, there's some equity in this house. Competition is low because it's got the loan position. It's got the location signaling, claim structured opportunity, if the numbers work, the risk flags. And you can go and you can search it again, in the risk flags. Here's your decision flow, validation, title awareness. You can go back to Jefferson County at the same time you're still on there and go back and run as many as you want and go with the tax assessor, the assessor's office in the same county, same jurisdiction, same website. You just have to go and click on it. Timeline tracking, route to tool store, the RCIC on-ramp, rehab mode. You want to use deal analysis and funding alignment. So it's going to guide you. RCIC is going to guide you where you need to go in the systems we have. Why this matters. Distress doesn't start at auction. It starts here. And you get the operator take. And a public safe one-liner, this is what a real opportunity looks like before it becomes a deal, straight from the county before the crowd shows up. So it can run an ARV, and we did this actually last week. And then how this runs into rehab mode. I have that PDF from last week. Or turn this into public case visual. So I can send you the copy of what we did last week from the same property. Because like I said, I ran a couple of the evergreen ones as I live here.
So how long did that take to do that from start to finish, Nate?
To run this?
Yep. That particular case.
Well, run it. There you go. See, it's maybe a reason. Sometimes there you go. It's doing it, and it does a deep dive, so it could take a few minutes. Yeah, you can have your agents. In the agent, it stopped thinking, quick answer. That's because it's in deep mode. So you can choose quick answer if you need a quick answer. I just ask it, okay.
Are there different versions of like ChatGPT and Claude? I know Grok has like the super mode or super heavy and all that. I mean, does it matter which one you choose?
I always recommend, when you've got it and you go to that, you always want to, it'll say what I recommend. When you see that RCIC core screen, it'll say that I recommend model 5.4 because I'm just using what the quote model is.
Now we're getting ridiculous trying to tell you, okay, this is what you need to run it, and here's where you get it. Push this button, I'll get it for you. Okay, what really, right?
Okay.
How hard can this be? It's like I said, it's going to be an invention when you plug this in and put all your stuff in there. And see, this is in there too. So can you see that? Can you find that example that Nate ran the other day? Can you run it again for me, please?
You
can do all kinds of stupid codes.
Yeah.
This could take, it could take a few minutes of just pulling up a lot of stuff.
No worries.
Dude, I got a deal on a tool called Daisy Chain Detector. And and it's cool, but not everybody needs it. If you're using wholesalers or people off Facebook, it's handy. You're not going to need it with the counties and stuff because you're getting the information fresh. But Daisy Chain's Detector had two situations. It gave me within 10 minutes and 15 minutes. It did take a few minutes, but it actually one time in Fort Worth and found a property. It identified that the property was a D.R. Horton build in the last 5 years. And it gave me two subdivisions that D.R. Horton had built in Fort Worth where that model had been sold.
Nice.
And I was able to go determine it. Another one was in Houston outside by NASA. And like a lot of the towns in Texas, they have a water tower. It had a water tower. There was a community pool, had a swimming pool, a tennis court, and a little picnic table area with like a patio cover kind of thing. Just straight. I don't know if it was south or north, but just straight. There was the water tower and the property had a community-shaped pool. So it matched up to the pictures that the wholesaler had posted that was very vague on Facebook. Like I said, I just basically started pulling stuff out that I was seeing people post in different groups I'm in. It took 8 minutes and I had the address. And I was able to pull all the information from that AHJ. So I'm going to go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
While you're doing that, I mean, I can, we have a bunch of wholesalers sending us deals, but there's multiple daisy chains. Might be able to use this to find who the actual broker is.
Yeah, and daisy chain detectors.
You can actually get out in front of everybody with this. Because you're going to know it the second that it happens or shortly thereafter, before all these other people that put all that stupid stuff together even get a chance to look at it. You're already on top of it. Okay. So that's the major part about this. That's why I'm saying you're going to be in for an adventure because nobody's going to be able to touch you. Cool. You're going to own your realm and nobody's going to be able to mess with you. Nobody's going to be able to take a deal out from underneath you. None of this kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah. So market related assessment's pretty cool. And like I said, your first couple, we'll do some tweaks. We'll do a one-on-one once you're set up so you can actually then just, and then it's pretty cool.
Using your stuff that you've already done. That's the only way you're going to see how this works. But you can run how many of those at a time there, Nate?
Well, I know Willie ran 50 through Overnight Deal Engine and it came out pretty good. Peggy up in Peggy up in Michigan. She tried to put 900 deals in. Don't do that. It didn't really come out too well. Only because she ran out of agents. Not that I didn't try, but you don't have enough agents to run 900 through it one time. Okay. So yeah, like I said, man, this is the best deal out there. And like I said, it's we're also once you're on board too, and you're if you refer somebody, if somebody signs up and gets the venture of the lifetime, it starts May 1st at $3,500. I'll throw you $500. So can you generate suggested titles? This is where I'm closing out. Whenever I get to this point, you guys know I'm kind of getting ready to wrap up. A description, hashtags, and a thumbnail. Like I said, it'll do all your stuff. So for YouTube, they require all the thumbnails to be under 2.0 megabytes. I put 1.99 to make sure. And so this is where it's going to generate suggested titles for my YouTube video. It takes so we're on for about an hour and a half. It'll take about 45 minutes to process the Zoom. So I'll put the YouTube up in the morning and I make it available. So when we do it Wednesday or Thursday, the next morning by 9 o'clock, I have the video available. I post it in the two Facebook groups. When people are new, I make sure I get the new people them so they can get the replay. If you're never not on, just let me know and I make sure I get the video for you. It's like It's cool. You don't have to worry about like, hey, I'm 15 minutes late. Send me a thing. I'm like, cool. We're very laid back. There's times we turn the recording off, and I mean we started this in 2020 during the pandemic. We had 13 people.
Yeah, we sort of broke in Zoom. We were their test dummies.
We had 13 people. We still have 9 of the original. About 35 or so were probably on board before AI over between 2020 and 2025. So there you go. I just printed my thumbnail.
How many folks you got on now?
We got 194 in the group plus myself.
Nice.
And Jesse.
Okay. Nice tight knit group.
but not everybody in our group is like 2 or 3 people that are existing group come around to the AI like every month and want to get on, and they have an option, even if they join back in 2020. And we started charging $397. We raised the price in 2023 to $2. That's it. So we haven't even, like most of everybody's got to them for like lifetime. We're at the point now because of everything that's really going on. We can go out there and we have the $100 a month to get RCIC Lite. They'll get that through RCICsystems.com. The only people that will get the GPT still will have basically the lifetime people that come in at 3,500. The people with the RCIC Pro. So you come in at $399. You have everything.
Yeah.
They come in at they might get an annual plan or something like that. Because we put so much time in this. This is just incredible. It's phenomenal. Yeah. So there's my titles. I have to sometimes remind it real quick. But yeah, dude, it'll do all your marketing and stuff. You can make these you can make really cool listings and all kinds of visuals, put the pictures in there. It's cool.
Yeah. I'll have it make OMs for me eventually.
Yeah, dude, it's like we're cool. A lot of people are on here. Let me kind of go around real quick to the other people in the group and just have them check in. Hey, Jesse, do you want to say hi to everybody since you're are you feeling better? Or are you? So Jesse's one of our other partners. He's in Massachusetts. What's up, Jesse?
Are these all partners on here?
No, some of them are, but all of them have been in for a while. Everybody that's on right now besides you has been in for at least 3 years.
Okay.
So what's up, Scott? What's up, Doris?
Hey, where's the record? We're going to put this recording, or can you send it to me? Because I still have to work my BuyBox, but I want to follow how you did it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you tomorrow.
Cool.
9 o'clock. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. No problem. Yeah, and I saw. I'll try to get also a couple of those people that I was talking to you about, trying to help you with that. What you asked me the other day with Michael Conklin and a few other people. I'll try to make sure.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you really quick want to throw out what you're looking for there, Scott?
And then I'll get I in the self-storage, looking for deals 30,000 square feet on up, or boat and RV storage. And
I'm in your market too.
Are you?
Yeah. That's only going to get bigger. People are going to want to fish because they can't do anything else. There's a lot of this coming up, and there's a lot of things. People are going to be moving into the country a lot more. There's going to be a bigger shift because the cities aren't going to be able to handle what's coming. And there's a lot of ideas. There's also, you want to take a look at trying to get into the resorts and stuff like that, resort property, and definitely RV parks.
RV, yeah.
Those are all the same thing as self-storage in the way that they're based, and it's a good triangular thing. And that's basic. I'm in that space myself. I'm working out of the Ozarks, trying to get that done here, and then I'm going to do some stuff up Nate's way. I mean, as my family's up there and a number of other people I know up there, so I'm going to be doing much the same that I learned up there back in 1990 when I was up there with one of our ex-partners. I learned a lot up there from them, so this is going to be a fun deal.
So let me give you guys
that's be perfect for that.
30-second elevator pitch, because so Kevin's family of the Stevensons, if you guys can Google Stevenson, Chevrolet, Toyota, Lexus, Jaguar, see where they sold that. I think you guys kept all the land though, but they also have Denver West Office Park, Denver West Village, Denver West Commons, Colorado Mills Mall.
$3 billion for the Denver West Office Park.
Yeah. So his family is definitely welcome. They literally on that side of Denver and Golden and stuff. It's like, yeah, you
drive all the way down to the Springs. They had a couple stores down the Springs. Yeah.
All right, let me check.
Fort Collins, I want to say they had something up that way. Whole point of the matter is they basically were instrumental in the entire eastern slope west of Denver and along west of I-30, west of I-25 period development. Aside from the ski resorts, he had a lot to do with all that crap. And with 12 kids, they didn't get a car. They didn't get the keys to the car when they graduated college. They got the keys to the dealership. Okay. And a couple of them got put on a mall project, and they were building an office park completely complete with a 7-story or 10-story hotel on it and a bank. Okay, I mean these guys went after everything.
And used to hang out with Joe Sakic.
Yeah, and then he got to get. Oh yeah, we've got White. What's the name of that damn thing up there? The solar energy farm is on there, and the place that they basically set in. And then there's another one, NCAR, and it's like all these different things. It's Table Mountain. Okay, he owns that. Leased that to the government. He and Bill Kurz were buddies, and they were getting into a lot of stuff, and it's like, good Lord, Meanwhile, I've been quietly assembling all my little tools and everything else, and about ready to blow everything that did out of the water in about 2 months once I get the damn switch turned on. This is kind of where this is going. This is the main switch. And everybody that's affiliated with this, they're getting a lot of my experience because eventually I'll be picking all my records, and it's going to be going into this library. Okay. Cool. All right. And we're basically economic catalytic agents. You can speak of that as my uncle, myself. We're that influential. Well, we're not really influential. We just happen to have all the ingredients, and we learn how to do things at an early age. I was a graduate of the Dale Carnegie Institute before I got out of high school.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay. So I already, when I wasn't in school, I'm talking grade school and everything, I was in school because my grandfather had a trade school and it was a family business. My father was an instructor there. My mother was, well, she was Mary Fran. And then in summertime, I'm sitting here, basically, I've got the Voc Rehab, Missouri Voc Rehab, and the United States Veterans Administration. Those were my clients for when I was 10 years old that summer, literally.
Cool. All right, let me check in.
Yeah, so this is the kind of stuff that I get involved in. Well, this is the kind of stuff that everybody's going to actually get a piece of now and can actually develop it. And I'm kind of excited to watch it happen. So, everybody that gets this thing going is going to be in for a ride like they've never seen before, and that goes for everybody involved in it. So we're going to have one big happy family when it gets down to the end of the line. And this goes back with PMA. I think we're going to 19 or 18 there, somewhere in there. Okay, this is all lifetime stuff. There is no, what was that term you used about selling? It's all the same thing. Everybody gets it, and then if it gets amended, if it gets added to, whatever the hell, it doesn't matter. You got it anyway. We're not charging anything, So people that are getting in now are getting a large dose of a lot of stuff. People that got a PMA, they're getting a lot of good stuff, but they don't have a library like this. Well, they do. Because it's all grandfathered in, so there is no up charges. That's what upselling. That's the term you're using. We don't do that.
Okay.
We don't need to do that. Yeah, if you haven't figured that out by now.
That when they come over, they'll be paying a lot more, obviously. Let me check it.
Just think about how many people are going to want to get a hold of this, because it's basically real estate industry in a can, not just real estate in a can.
Okay, cool. Hey, Laura, how are you? I'm checking with you. How's Washington? Let's see if we get a couple people unmuted. There you go.
There she is.
Hey,
Laura. Hi there. How are you?
Good. How are you? How's Washington?
Washington's good. So, yeah.
Washington on the left coast or whatever, the west coast.
Yes, that Washington.
Bremerton, Seattle.
Yep, north of Seattle. That whole part of the world.
What do you got going on right now? And then also, if you want to do a one-on-one just to help build out your system, let me know.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Yep. In both acquisition and sell mode right now. So a couple of properties on market. Just did a lease option on one property, and looking to do acquisition. Also looking to get into commercial real estate. So want to get some of those apartments.
Yeah, we got some good resources for that. Plus all the stuff I just did with the new apps and the new website. You guys get all access to it. I'll hand everybody probably the first week in May all their access codes. All the apps work.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have all that buttoned up by then.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get that handled, and like I said, we can set up a one-on-one, and we can, I usually set them for an hour, but I've gone an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it takes. And if you need 2 or 3 of them, we'll get you all set. You've been around now 2 years, so we'll get you taken care of. Get you set up on the AI so you can take more advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've used it a lot. I haven't been doing some of the things that you've been doing with it. I mean, I'd like to set it to, yep, fundraising. That would be one of the things. Aside from, scouting and looking for properties in the BuyBox that I have. Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Cool. Yeah.
I want to become more efficient in that area.
Yeah. Well, hoping, and just like I said, identify some things you need help with before, and then that'll make it go smoother. Then you can, like, if you can send it to me on Messenger, then I can kind of pre-plan for you. And then
we can try to get this done by the 1st. That'd be fantastic of May, first part of May.
Yeah, we'll get you all
Yeah, I'll send over some quick notes to you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Then I can pre-plan for it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all the work that you've been doing and put into this. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's getting better because wait till everybody sees the what I've been doing on Claude. And I've explaining that Claude kind of sucks in their time limits, as some people said. So I can build everything here. I can take it over there. I can build it really well.
And refine it. Yeah, that's what I do between the different types of AI. I'll sometimes work in one and then I'll refine it in another. And I find that it just gets you a little further ahead.
So what I do is if I take it over to Claude, it has no problem. It'll say, oh, that's OpenAI, that's GPT, no problem. I do anything in Claude back to here, I pretty much expect to start seeing my laptop smoke. Because OpenAI does not like Anthropic.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Laura, let me know when you need help.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right. I'll probably sign up, by this weekend and then just get onboarded.
Yeah. And like I said, then what I do is I'll send you over the onboarding PDF. I usually hesitate. The last one I'll send you is the one of all the other 6 GPTs. That way you're not overwhelmed. Just get used to core, and then we'll identify them for your needs. And then I send you over 4 other ones like that day. 2 invites to Facebook groups, the private Facebook groups. And then we do have a Facebook page that's like private, which also you can join. That's for the RCIC Once we have everything, all the activation links, I have to hook up the API. Then I'll have all those apps for people. Like I said, all the apps work offline. The only thing is you guys go to RCICSystems.com. You guys have access to it, but in order to access all that stuff, you would have to have a cloud subscription in addition to GPT. But all the apps that are separate that you see me posting about, they all work offline. They just don't work as well. Because like the one that scrolls, like distress opportunity foreclosures, it has to be plugged in for that to work. And that's something I've got to, just to give it a kind of a rundown. Let me see, Doris. Doris, I got you for tomorrow. We'll start about an hour before the Zoom. We'll go about just under an hour, and then I'll switch over to the Zoom, to the group Zoom. Does that work for you?
Asking me or?
No, I'm asking Doris.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll try to get Jesse. I think Willie just checked out. You guys all need to meet Willie. He was just here, but
I was going to say, he was going to hang around for a little bit.
Yeah, he's working on some.
I saw Jesse on here just a little bit ago.
Well,
this is great though, guys. Good work. It's a nice passion project.
There he is.
I tell you guys are really into it, and you guys put a whole lot of work into it. So it's
gonna be good. Better because I'm like, this is so much. Like I said, I had to put somewhere. Like Kevin will tell you, I live in Jesse too. I mean, Jesse's been around since 2019 with us. I had to find somewhere to put all these resources. And it's just like I was going to build static websites. So it was going to take me 3 of them. I was using the AI, and I got that one from free to paid to organize everything to handle. It helped me build descriptions on Fiverr. I probably had 100 people that wanted to build it on Fiverr. And instead, I just ended up building this, and it's unlimited. That is the true thing. You'll find it's unlimited. You have a little bit of patience and have to tweak a few times, but you can look and build on yourself and make it. It's your ecosystem. You own it outright. Even if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, you're still good. You can build onto it. I mean, people point. I mean, we just sell you this, and you basically, we have all the Zooms and all that because I'm going to keep building and building, and as we get people on. But eventually, the only people that are going to still get the GPT stuff after May 1st, they're going to have to pay $3,500 for lifetime to get it. The people on the Pro plan for monthly or annual won't be able to get it. You guys can see on that website what'll they get. You guys have it for life for $399. That's the best deal out there.
Cool.
And we're only
try and make these Zooms every time. Just I got work too. I got a whole lot of stuff I got to do, but I'll try and make these Zooms.
I said, we record them. If I know that you're into something that we've talked about, I'll make sure, hey, check, watches the 44-minute part. You know, I try to tell people that as best as I can. It also limits me. I can't send more than 50 of the DMs out a day, or it suspends me from DMs for like 2 days, which sucks. Because then I can't talk to any of you guys for 2 days, at least on Messenger. But generally, I try to send the 50 most active people like the invitations. They're every Wednesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Denver time. We've done over, 500 of them. You guys can see them. This is the 70th Zoom for RCIC alone. That doesn't include another 300 something we've done for the group as a whole, and probably another 200 for the things that we've done. You can even go back on. Kevin can tell you about when I first started, how horrible they were. I leave them up there so people can see how much we've evolved. You know, we're going to keep getting better and better. It's the people, it's everybody, because you guys tell me, you know, everybody gives me feedback, and then we go build it. And we see stuff going on in the community. Somebody's doing something. Guess what? Now I can go build an app in like a couple hours for you guys and solve that. Get you guys that tool. And I'll be able to start building for, you know, I'm not going to be able to do everybody right away. There's going to have to be like, you know, it may take a month, 2 months, even 3 months to get everybody in the group an app. I'm trying to build everybody an app for themselves, and then I just send it over to you. You guys drop it in Netlify. You host it yourself. I don't need to see it again, unless you want me to connect it to ours. If you would connect it to ours, then obviously you got it literally powers everything that we have. But like I said, you can have 2 people in the same exact market, have different buy boxes, get the same sources. There might be 84 foreclosure. 8 of them meet your exact buy box, 5 meet theirs. You never see the same deal twice. You never get bad deals. You may not want to do a deal, or maybe you don't have the capacity that month. You're never going to get a bad deal. You're not going to ever have to worry about 1,000 or 2,000 deals and have to go through them manually. It's going to, like I just said, it's going to kind of go through and triage and pick them for you and say, hey, these 5 deals. Now you can go spend your quality time on those 5 deals.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, it's nirvana.
Yeah.
There's no other way to describe it. For a real estate investor, it's nirvana. It's happy pay. It's your happy place.
Yeah, so here goes. It just gave me 10 titles I can choose from in the morning. My description, my hashtags, and of course you just saw my
so it just finally got done, Dan.
Yep.
That took about 20 minutes.
Would one subscription be good if I'm running multiple buy boxes for multiple assets?
If you were with us, you just need one. If you have partners.
Okay. I'll just get one then. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
The only limitations is for OpenAI and for Anthropic. You know, like I said, you should have your personal account, $20 a month. If you got 2 or 3 partners, each of you should have a personal account. That way, if you guys ever break up, you guys don't have to worry about that. And then you get a business account, and it's like $25 a seat per month. Or if you go annual, it's like $480 per person per year, and you pay it or whatever. And then you guys all have a workspace. Like you see, my workspace says business. I'm in the business space. That's why I have developer mode. On my personal, my laptop is next to me. My other one, I have it set up for my personal account. And I'll start showing that in May because I've built it. I've built it ideally how I was trying to show you guys tonight. And
how much is the business?
Yeah, so it's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Now, how much is it? How much is it? A different price for the business seat?
For the business plan, like I said, it was 20. Well, we signed up as $30 per person. We now are paying 25, and that's just me and Jesse who's on, but kind of I know what he's up to. $25 per person per month.
Okay.
So if you got a business plan, but with the business plan, you get a lot more features. It's more unlimited. I mean, it can run you through it. You can go see what OpenAI.
There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesse. Hello, Jesse.
And
hey, I'm here. I'm here. I got the kids, you know.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. Doris, I'll see you an hour before the Zoom. Everybody else, I'll see you guys at 5 tomorrow. Hit me up if anybody needs any tweaks in the morning. I'll be live at 8 o'clock my time.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a nice night.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Stop share. Thanks, James. Nice to meet you. Look forward to helping you.